Twice now, my high-pressure washer won't pass water through it to the high-pressure hose when not started, and then, expectedly, not after I start it. No plug-in nozzle or wand, but something's not happening in the pump. Dewalt DP3750.
The first thing you want to do is to check the inlet screen where you hook up the water hose. These will sometimes get clogged up and not let the water flow through it. Also check the nozzle in the hose to make sure that it is not clogged. If that is not the problem, then the following answer is most likely correct. Most of the time when this occurs, you have to replace the entire pump. These are very inexpensively built pumps and usually will cost more to repair them than replacing them. What usually happens is that customers tend to put the pumps away without using the pump conditioner liquid in them. This causes the pump to corrode inside, and the result is that the pressure relief valve inside the pump gets pitted and won't close. Also, the corrosion causes other parts inside to not mesh together correctly. These pressure relief valves usually are just a ball and spring type valve that will corrode the ball and/or the pump housing or the seating surface, causing pitting, therefore rendering it inoperable. On a very few of these pumps, there are a couple of plastic valves that will break, causing the pump to fail. These may be replaceable if you find the parts list. That doesn't mean that it will fix the pump, but is usually just about the only chance of saving the pump. http://www.amazon.com/Briggs Stratton Pressure Washer Saver /DP/B0012Y200/ref=SR_1_1 E =UTF-8 and S =Home Garden and CAD =130412584 and SR =8 to 1. If this pump saver additive is added correctly before storage, you can usually prevent the problems you are having. There is also a slight chance that if you add the pump saver additive to the pump now and let it sit for at least 2 weeks, it might just loosen the valve. There is only a small chance that this would work, but it might be worth a try. As much as I hate to give this kind of answer, it is usually the correct answer. Buy a new pump. In many cases, it might be best to just replace the entire pressure washer, as the new pumps usually cost nearly as much as the complete pressure washer. Wish I had a better answer. Feel free to contact me here at this question anytime, even after you hit the accept button, and I will try to help further.
I already gave you my clean screen and unplugged nozzle. Hope all answers aren't canned. Went out and it worked. Water flowed through before I turned the engine on. Is this a check valve? Is this an airlock, if there is such a thing? Your best guess. Is there a best shutdown procedure? This time in the period of 10 seconds, with the unit running, I shut off the water. Squeeze the wand for pumping out water in pump, the shut-off engine. This should leave minimal water in system, which may or may not be good. Are the check valves accessible without complete pump disassembly? I'm a mechanical engineer by trade, but always heard these pumps are like diesel fuel injector pumps with all tolerances to 4 decimals, and without clean room, you're wasting time. If I can unscrew some of the caps, the tubes on them and holes in them, sorry, can't remember what they are called, are the check valves just behind them and can be unscrewed or blown out. Thank you, Drew.
Hi. Actually, this is the first answer that I give. Most pressure washer issues is ISIS almost always the problem. Yes, I saw what you said about the screens and such, but it is much easier to have you recheck everything and give the complete answer. No, most of my answers are not canned, but in this case it is usually the problem. The check valves are usually just basically a ball and spring. These usually just press up against a hole on the pump. When the hole in the pump gets corroded, and many times you cannot even see the damage with the naked eye, the ball will not close off that hole and the pressure will not build up. The water just bypasses. There are a couple of different types of valves in the different pumps, and some are more or less just a piece of plastic that sometimes breaks or warps. These usually are in addition to the pressure relief valves that I have been discussing. When the pumps sometimes work and sometimes not, the problem can be that the pressure relief valve is sometimes closing and sometimes not. It can also sometimes be debris in the hose or nozzle. It might be stopping up the outlet. Even though sometimes a person can get into the pump and replax parts and try to rebuild these pumps, usually they do not work correctly, or at least they will not usually last very long after the repair, so most of the time the best solution is to replace the pump. In almost all cases, the problem is caused by not using the pump saver additive when storing the pump. Make sure that if you do get this working, however you do it, that you use the pump saver additive, or you will most likely be doing this almost every year. I hope that I have been of help, even though the answer may not be what you wanted to hear. Sometimes prayers are centered but not in the way we want them to turn out.
But when it starts working again, it works fine with apparent full pressure. Your take on this? And no, I have never used pump saver, but will in the future, and will also try putting it in for a couple of weeks to see if it helps.
Sometimes it will just do that as it works its way around, and sometimes seals and sometimes not. Also, sometimes if the issue is in the hose or wand, meaning that there is some dirt in the wand or hose, it will move out of the way now and then and work correctly. Please remember that you can come back to me at any time and have me give you more information if I can. Even after you have rated me at least good.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/ythi.